Hello, my name is Nicholas Idoko. Today I have another episode, and I want to discuss how I price projects based on value, not just time. Before I go ahead with this, I have to be very honest, as I always say. Um, Time is a major, more like say, parameter. Yep. It is a major parameter when pricing a project. Don't get me wrong. Yes, I said we price based on value, but time is also a major parameter, right? If you are going to finish a project in a day, let's say for example, and to the person that is paying for that project may be worth 1 billion. The person would not likely pay you 10% of 1 billion for you to do that project in a day, right? So when considering your pricing, always bear it at the back of your mind that yes, you are pricing for value, but time is a very, very important parameter when considering your project. Yeah. Now, the next thing you need to consider is uh, obviously what is going to take in terms of the client. How is the client? Obviously, before you price the project, you have to discuss with your client. There's something I add, like a source, is a hidden parameter in the back of my head that I add when pricing. I'll still come to value, but I'm just coming to the other ones, right? They call it something in physics, but I've forgotten what it's called. Yeah. So the difficulty of the client. If I'm chatting with a client that wants me to do a project for him, and in the process of chatting, I feel like this client is going to be difficult to deal with, it dramatically increases the price, right? Let me not say dramatically, but I actually add some money on top of whatever the price is because I'm already sensing that I'm going to be dealing with somebody difficult, right? And if I'm going to deal with somebody difficult, I'm definitely going to get a value from my money. Now, if I'm dealing with a client and I can feel like this is a reasonable person, the person is approaching me like a human being, right? The person is somebody that has his head screwed all right, we are flowing. Yeah. I actually love working with people like that. So I don't actually try to make my price something that is going to, drive. I charge reasonably. I will give them something fair, something I can open my mind up for even negotiating and trying to get a balance so that they have something reasonable to work with, right? So that is a hidden source I always add in my pricing. And I try to talk to my clients multiple times. And yet it's rare, but you see somebody that started out, you like the flow and can become difficult all of a sudden. That does happen, but it is very rare. I've gotten so good at this. I ask specific questions. I ask certain types of questions that would actually let me know who I am dealing with because many people can be very difficult. In fact, I've gotten to the stage which I am grateful for, whereby if you are difficult, I don't even want to work with you. I don't care how much you're willing to pay me, right? Like I keep saying, money is not the goal, freedom is the goal. The goal is to be free, not to make as much money as possible. It's to be free to do what you want to do, right? So if I discover that from chatting with you that, oh, you're going to be difficult for me, one way of knowing somebody that is difficult, let me just let you know, is I'm going off topic here, but at least you understand what I mean. The one particular thing I know is if I ask you, what do you want? And you are telling me, just do whatever you feel is best. I have not seen any client that is telling me something like that that will not end up being difficult. I've not seen anyone, that is not going to end up being difficult and to work with in the process, right? So do not, anybody that is telling you, try to make sure you get exactly what you want them to do for you. If possible, have it written. In fact, the best thing is to have it written down. No voice notes, no video recording. Let it be a written down something you can use as a memorandum of understanding. Trust me, I know what I'm saying. Whenever somebody is telling you to take full control of their own project, you are going to suffer in that project. I have experienced it, and I know. The only place I know that they can give you full control is something like use whatever language you want to use, or use maybe design it how you want to design. I'm okay with whichever design as long as it's working. But if it is for the functionality of their project, I remember I had one client. Let me give you this year, 2025. He's not a client because I did not work with him. He reached out to me, wanted me to develop something for him, and he told me he wanted me to add a forum to the project. And I asked him, what are the features of this forum that you want to be done? Guess what he told me? He told me he wanted the forum to be something that anybody using it would like and enjoy and would be entertained. What can I use that information to do? I can't work with you because you yourself don't even know what you want in the forum, right? So it's obvious that there is no way I can work with you, right? So even if you are saying you pay me a huge amount of money, how do I get to be able to know if I have done my job or not? Because it turns out that the person that will say I have done my job is not even you. It is going to be the users, and users is going to be a lot of people. So there is no way we can confirm that my job is done. We have to make sure that you set boundaries to know that, okay, what you've done it. And there is no loophole or there's no leeway for the clients to now say that this is not what I was asking you to do. And when it comes to value, you have to know how to price yourself. And I always keep saying that for me, this is personal to me. It's not for everybody. I price myself by increasing what I can get for myself. And I've explained this thing before. If you go to my earlier episodes, I was explaining this thing there. If I'm starting out in freelancing and I have nothing, my entire goal is to get as many people to know about me as possible, and I'll do their project for them, little to nothing. I'm starting out, right? But as I am growing, I am increasing my value and my price. One major thing I always try to do is make money outside of freelancing. That is the best way to increase your value. If you are making, let's say, for example, 3 million naira a month outside of freelancing or software engineering, or you have another business that is doing that, right? If somebody is asking you to do a project for them and your own business is going to give you way more than what they're asking you to do, there is no even point, especially if the person is going to be difficult. And if it's somebody that is calm, is simple, in a week, you're done with the project, wind it. Enjoy the money, right? But if it is something that is going to be a difficult project and it's going to be filled with headache and the person is not reasonable, you can charge the person higher, like times 3 of whatever you're earning. So you can say it's 10 million naira for these projects, for example. Because one thing I love about this business is we set our prices based on what we believe is fair. I can say this, the cost of this project is 7.5 million. Somebody else can say it's 1.5. The both of us are justified, right? So it now depends on the client to choose who he or she wants to work with, right? So setting your price should be based on what you believe is fair. And that is where the value is. Sometimes I don't even really bother about the value of the client because you likely never know what the client believes that value of that project is going to be putting in. You would likely never know. They would likely never reveal it. It's only people that are doing maybe, let's say, consulting, for example, because they know they can calculate how much the person would make. Let's say we are able to calculate, if I do this thing for this person is going to make 100 million naira. You already know the value of that work you're going to do. You can say, okay, you pay me 20%, which is 20 million naira. But in our work as freelance software engineers, right, we don't know how much we are going to make. Anybody that tells you that you would know is lying to you. I'm telling you the honest truth. You would never know. There's no way you can even know. Because you can finish the project and they will not make shishi. You can finish the project, they will not make any money. They can make money. You don't know. So you have to find a way to build yourself independent of your freelancing business. I keep saying this thing, but that is the only way you are going to enjoy freelancing and stay in it for a long time. Freelancing is not a short-term game. It's a very long-term game. Very long. The more you stay in it and the more seasoned you are, the sweeter it becomes, the more money you make, the more bargaining power you have, the more you can show people that you have done this and this and that, right? Imagine what I have accomplished now. Imagine if I stick to this and I keep increasing my value independent of freelancing, what I can be able to charge 20 years from now. Obviously, you keep advancing your skills, right? But freelancing is a long-term game, right? Very long term. Very long term. I really do mean it. If you are entering into freelancing to bounce out after 5 years, you've lost the game entirely because uh, the longer you are, the sweeter it becomes, the more bargaining power you have. And but the longer you are and you are not building your own business or building your own stuff independent of freelancing, the more you suffer. And that's the crazy thing about this thing that I have noticed. If you keep going and be doing freelancing, but you don't have your own things, okay, let's take it away from freelancing for a minute. Let's look at contractors, people that are building buildings, like civil engineers or I don't know. Yeah. So let's say you are a contractor to build a house, right? You build houses, and all you do is build houses for people. You are not building your own house. The more you do it, the more you lose. Because as you age, younger people are coming into the business that will take away market share from you, and they will do it at a way cheaper price. But if you have your own buildings, you have your own estates, you have your own stuff, you can charge more with confidence, because if they don't want it, they can go, they can leave. Even if it's one person in a year, if one person in a year pays you double of what your own business is making, you're okay. So, like I keep saying, as a freelancer, don't just get stuck at building your projects for other people. Build for yourself, and try to build it, try to grow it, try to not just build it and leave it. Try to grow one way or the other. It would really help your freelancing game. Because if you take freelancing, put all your eggs in freelancing, you would lose. The only way to benefit from freelancing is to have another business, something else, and generating revenue for you and keeping your mind solid, because you need obiakpo, like you need a strong heart in order to succeed well in this freelancing. And I keep telling people I've been doing this thing for 12 years. They don't believe me. But that's the truth. You will meet a lot of people that you need to say no to keep your sanity. If you want to be sane, if you want to keep your peace of mind, I've gone through all these phases, so I know. To keep your sanity, you really need to say no to some people. Some people will just come there to destroy you. I know someone that has stopped freelancing and has opened a cafe in Lagos. A cafe, coffee and co-working space, right? Because he had a very bad client that he worked with. He said he's not doing this anymore. And he's good, right? So keep your sanity in check, and you see that the longer you stay, the more seasoned you are. So coming back to price, I'm of the opinion that you should price based on your own value, not really based on the client's value. Especially in our field, not the field. Other fields, they can do that because they can calculate how much they are bringing for the clients. But in our field, no. Your own value. And the best way to do that is to keep increasing your own value. Keep increasing it. Keep pumping more into yourself more than other projects so that your own value increases. The goal is to get your own value to increase. And as your value increases, you can actually build on freelancing. It's weird, but that is how I believe. This is personal. Anybody can agree to me, but my own personal this is what I believe builds, your strong heart to prize more in freelancing. Yeah, I think that's all. Thank you very much, Opelai.